This is the fight of their lives.
I put this work in for me. This is my dream, my shot, my time.
58 elite fighters.
And he's out!
Battling 8 weeks for 8 life-changing contracts.
What a fight. The pursuit of $1 million championship is still alive for you.
Who will survive? An MMA reality competition unlike any other.
So much is on the line. Literally anything could happen. That's a TKO victory! Unbelievable!
This is the PFL Challenger Series on Fubo TV.
The PFL on Fubo TV is brought to you by Next Level Hydrogen Water, the official water of the PFL. Columbia Care, the official CBD partner of the PFL. CarParts.com. Get the right parts right now at CarParts.com. And by the United States Air Force Reserve. Learn more at AFReserve.com. Welcome back, fight fans, to Orlando, Florida, home of PFL Challenger Series action. Week 2 is all about the welterweights on Fubo TV. Taylor versus Martin, Silawi versus Lilly, and more. Sean O'Connell and Kenny Florian. 8 fighters tonight, 4 winners, but only 1 PFL contract for the upcoming 2022 season. And Kenny, I call it a blessing and a curse, because if you win tonight, if you impress the celebrity panelists, if you impress the fans, and you get the contract, well, you jump into the PFL welterweight division.
Yeah, that's right, and it's one of the most difficult divisions in the sport. We have some of the best welterweights in the sport as well. Ray Cooper, the third 2-time champion here in the PFL, one of the hardest-hitting welterweights in the world. We have Magomed Karamov, one of the best submission artists in the division as well. And we have Rory McDonald, who has established himself as one of the best welterweights in the world for several years now.
Undefeated welterweight, by the way.
Yeah, that's right.
Kenny Florian,
too. Yeah.
Never lost at welterweight. And you know what? I'd never lose at welterweight either. All right, so how do you earn a contract tonight? 8 fighters, that means 4 winners, but only 1 contract. So our 4 fight winners are eligible, but the PFL will select 2 finalists from those winners. If you impress the celebrity panel and you impress the fans, they could cast a vote for you. If we need a tiebreaker vote, that comes from President of Fighter Operations, Ray Sefo, and of course the winner appears in our 2022 PFL season. Somebody's life is going to change tonight, and someone's life who already changed because she gets to work with us now. Julie Stewart-Banks. Hey, Julie.
Hey, Sean, and a change for the better. I have been flying high since week 1. Cannot wait for tonight and week 2. And as you mentioned, these fighters will be looking to earn 1 of 2 votes coming from the celebrity panel. And we're thrilled to welcome back in Super Bowl MVP and NFL Hall of Famer Ray Lewis.
Julie, good to see you.
It's great to see you, too. And also, it's great to see former UFC welterweight champion Tyron Woodley.
To be back, and I just want to see the urgency from these guys. This is a big contract. Entering to win $1 million. Let's bring it on.
Chance to win $1 million, and you also got to show the entertainment. For that, we bring in 3-time Emmy Award-winning actor Jeremy Piven.
Well, it's an honor to be on with you guys. I am not qualified to judge these people. I'm a huge fan of MMA, and I expect a lot out of these guys tonight.
We expect a lot out of you too, Jeremy, and in the cage. Sean, back over to you.
All right, thank you, Julie. Thanks to the fellas on our celebrity panel. Let's get to some fights. Let's take a look at the fight card tonight. Again, 4 fights. That means 8 fighters, all competing for 1 contract. Mixon versus Pierce will start it off. From there, we go to the LFA champion, Carlos Leal, taking on Corey Cuppy. Delano Taylor, he's a Titan FC champion, looking to jump into the PFL. He'll face Mark Martin, both of those guys on winning streaks. Jarrah Al-Silawi, he's got 2 belts in Brave FC, which is the largest mixed martial arts feeder league in the Central Asian and Middle Eastern division. He'll take on Michael Lilly. I've learned a lot from our betting expert, Ian Parker, and when I see some of those odds, some of those big numbers next to a couple of names, I know that I need more advice. For that, we go to Ian Parker.
Thanks, Sean, for the odds here. Yeah, they're a little bit high tonight, especially really across the board except for one. So we're going to start off with the first fight. Chris Mixon against Nathan Pierce, minus 210. Look, at 2-to-1 odds, for me, a straight play just doesn't make any sense. So he is going to be the first leg of our parlay. We're going to team up with Carlos Leal and Silawi, and we're going to get that at minus 109 odds, and we're going to put that together and win another parlay this week, Sean.
All right, I like it. That's the betting big board. And actually, Kenny, you might not know this, but even if you're not a bettor, we have a way that you can get involved with Fubo TV's Fan View, free to play. And the first live question is already up. The question is, will we see a first-round finish on the card tonight? I want to actually go back to Ian Parker and see how he weighs in on this one. Will we see a first-round finish, Ian?
Sean, I believe tonight these welterweights are going to bring it, and I think that we do see one tonight. So my answer is yes.
All right. Ian says a first-round finish. What do you think? You co-sign?
I think we'll see it. Absolutely.
All right. We hope so. All right. And don't forget, you, the fans, actually help determine who gets a contract tonight. Pay attention. At the end of the night, you will have a say in who gets a life-changing PFL opportunity. Participate in the Bud Light fan vote by casting your vote in Fubo TV's Fan View, or you can do it on Twitter at PFL MMA. That's the account, at PFL MMA. Vote. Welterweight action coming up. We'll start, of course, in the welterweight division at 170 pounds. This one brought to you by the United States Marine Corps. Chris Mixon, the American representing Ukraine. His family's roots are there. And Nathan Pierce, two teammates. They trade an hour away from us here in Orlando, Florida. They're fighting one another tonight for an opportunity to jump into the PFL's welterweight division. Julie Stewart-Binks, let's get this going.
Well, Sean, PFL Challenger Series gives fighters a chance to introduce themselves, so let's see who we got.
Representing Louisville, Kentucky, but fighting out of Port Orange, Florida, and Pete White Boxing MMA. Professional record of 3-1. Nathan Two Bills Pierce. Going into this fight, going to take a kill, going for the opportunity of a lifetime. Take my shot.
Well, guys, we asked Nathan earlier this week how he felt fighting his friend. He said, I would fight my dad for $10,000. So evidently not a big deal to be facing Chris Mixon tonight. Let's see how his opponent stacks up.
Fighting out of Port Orange, Florida, with an undefeated record of 2 wins and no losses, with 1 knockout and 1 submission. Chris, the Cossack Mixon, and I'm here to put on a show.
Mixon is representing the Ukraine. His grandfather and uncle live in Kharkiv. That's one of the cities that has been under Russian attack over the last 48 hours. He said he spoke with them yesterday, and they said they were safe and sheltered in a metro station. He hasn't had a chance to speak with them since. Tonight, as he steps into the cage, his family's safety is certainly on his mind. Sean, back to you.
Thank you, Julie. Wow. Heavy stuff for Chris Mixon, who's got the biggest fight opportunity of his life tonight. We'll take a look at our tail of the tape presented by the United States Marine Corps. Nathan Pierce is 6 years older. A big reach advantage for Chris Mixon, who is 5 inches taller. Arm reach and leg reach, 6-inch advantage for Mixon in both. Take a look at our referee. Josh Rutgers will oversee our first fight of Challenger Series action tonight. And Kenny Florian, just like that, we are underway. A couple of training partners squaring off for the biggest opportunity of their MMA lives. Left hand from each. Double jab there from Mixon.
Yeah, Mixon already using that length to his advantage there. Keep him on the outside with that lead hand.
Tag Pierce with a nice right hand. There's Ray Lewis. Ray,
What's up,
Fighting
Sean?
a teammate, how much pressure does that add to this situation?
I think it takes pressure off of it, actually. I think you both know what you both represent, and so when you get in the cage, listen, it's off limits, right? I mean, I tell my sons that as well. You're not winning, no matter what. Seriously.
Yeah, and I think Ray's accurate with that. You see these guys not wasting any time. They're getting right after it.
Double left hand from Pierce. Tag Mixon with it. Already some back and forth here. Very active in the first minute of this fight. Good head movement there from Pierce, who then lands a left hand.
Yeah, Pierce really starting to find way more success now.
Scooping uppercut from the rear hand there by Mixon.
Mixon also a pro boxer as well, so he's got some nasty hands.
Now, of course, we tell you these guys are training partners, Kenny. We don't know how many rounds they've done together. We don't know how well they figured one another out. Just because you're in the same gym doesn't mean that you've already picked up a guy's tendencies, but it's certainly better than just, ooh, nice combination.
Oh! Beautiful boxing combination there from Mixon.
Mixon goes back to the body. Pierce lands with a hook upstairs.
Yeah, Pierce is finding some good success with that left hook as well.
Push kick there from Mixon.
Been really impressed with both of these gentlemen, both in their 20s. Not a whole lot of fights, but they have the composure of a veteran fighter. Excellent combination again from Mixon.
Little damage on the nose there of Pierce, who then eats a 1-2. Head kick grazes off the top of the dome.
And Mixon's moving a lot better. After he throws his combination, he's getting out of there. Doesn't want to back up against the fence, though. That's where Pierce will find a lot of success.
Left hand cracks once again off the side of Mixon's head. Nice leg kick there from Pierce.
Hey, keep kicking that leg.
Kenny Florin, if nothing else, the first half of this round is a great advertisement for Pete White Boxing and MMA, where both of these men train. Some nice technique on display. This guy knows a little bit about boxing and MMA. Tyron Woodley, what are you seeing so far?
Definitely what I'm seeing right now, I'm seeing Chris utilize a jab. Not only a jab, utilizing long ranges. You see that he opened up the spinning back kick, and when he starts with that jab, it opens up the windows for all the creativity.
Blood on the face of Pierce.
Yeah, Pierce already has his mouth open. You see blood on his nose, blood on his mouth there, showing it there. And that has a lot to do with those long-range weapons of Mixon.
You can see the fight stats at the bottom of your screen. Both of these men landing. Another great leg kick, heavy there from Pierce. The longer this fight goes, the more important that becomes.
There we go. Now you know you're in a fight.
Tell you what, if this is what the sparring matches between these guys are like at the gym, I might just go hang out and watch.
I'll tell you what, it is much different, though. You take out the pads off the shins, you take off those big gloves, and we're seeing it. I mean, a lot of blood already on the face of Pierce. Mixon's been landing more combinations, but Pierce finding some success as well when he's able to back Mixon up against the cage. Let's see if he can turn things around here.
Almost a clinch there. Another body shot from Mixon. Great four-punch combination. 3 of them landed.
Yeah, Pierce definitely having trouble with the length and reach of Mixon early on.
Well, we told you in the tail of the tape, it's a 6-inch reach advantage in both the arms and the legs.
Oh, beautiful lead uppercut there from Mixon.
And I tell you what, Mixon has eaten a couple of big hooks from Pierce. Barely flinches.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I mean, only 23 years old, and there's a beautiful right hand from Mixon and all the things that he's dealing with his family. He lost his mother a few years ago to cancer, and man, this kid's got ice in his veins.
Goodness gracious, nice first round here. 5 minutes gone, and already high-level mixed martial arts on display, and you can see the blood all over, not just on the face, but splattered across the chest and arms of Nathan Pierce.
Yeah, that's right. Here you see that jab firing out from Mixon. A nice return there with the left hook of Pierce. Beautiful combination there.
That might have been the one that opened up the bridge of his nose.
Yeah, absolutely. There's more boxing combinations from the pro boxer Mixon. And here's another left hand.
Mixon's jab paying dividends in the first round. We'll see if Nathan Pierce switches up the strategy. He's a wrestler. He's got the ability to shoot some takedowns here. Mixon feels like he has the counter wrestling necessary to stay on his feet. Perhaps we find out in round number 2. A smile between the teammates as they get ready to square off for 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
Touch of the hands.
And it's not a huge cut on Pierce, but it was bleeding a lot, and that doesn't always look great for the judges. So let's see if Pierce can get something going here. And my mistake on Mixon losing his mom, that was only last year, October of 2021, so still very fresh.
I want Jeremy Piven to weigh in. Are you entertained so far?
I am very entertained, sir. Mixon is mixing it up with this lead left hook, and he looks so crisp.
Oh.
And he's using that length. Look at that. It's amazing. He's got a little Wonder Boy in him.
The triple jab and then the right hand. Pierce just went for the thigh punch. Mixon appears to be pulling away a little bit with the jab in the early goings of round number 2.
Yeah, Pierce just doesn't have an answer to that long-range weapon. Not able to get on the inside. Beautiful 1-2 again from Mixon. And this is what Pierce needs to do. He needs to move that head and get on the inside and land those shots. But Mixon can fight going backwards as well.
You don't want to stay at boxing range with a longer fighter who also happens to be a pro boxer. No answer so far in round number 2 from Pierce. And don't forget, the stakes for these gentlemen incredibly high. Nice leg kick there from Pierce. Win a contract, become a millionaire. That's the goal that you're trying to start tonight.
Oh.
The kick misses for Mixon, but all the punches before it landed.
Well, Pierce needs to find a way to get on the inside and look for a takedown here. I think this is where he can do his best work. If he can land a takedown, get him up against the cage, land some ground and pound, he can frustrate Mixon. Right now, he's just not able to be consistently effective on the feet against the longer Mixon.
Pull the trigger, Nate. Pull the trigger.
Tyron Woodley, you've been the shorter man in plenty of fights. You've had to deal with reach advantages for your opponents. How do you work in and get to that takedown range? How do you set it up?
I mean, you got to use the Mike Tyson analogy. You have to actually chop your way in by the head motion and slip and buy that real estate. Once you buy that real estate, you can't give it up. That's what Chris has been doing the entire time. He started in the beginning. We started to see double, triple jabs, and that's when the combinations start to flow. It's only so many times you can slip side to side, and that be enough. You got to advance.
You got to get him. You got to get him on the ground, Ty. You got to get him on the ground.
I do believe that. I think Chris has the better takedown defense than what we've seen because Pierce has not even attempted to take down.
He has not. Yeah. But he has to, Ty.
Yeah. Is this a place?
Yeah, you have to stop the damage.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Is this a place where fighting your teammate becomes a disadvantage because you know that his wrestling is so good?
Oh, that hurt him to the body. That body kick.
There you go. That's it. See?
He grabbed the leg.
I don't think it's a disadvantage, but his range.
He's still hurt to the body, guys.
Man.
Body shot landed.
Oh, Lord.
It's over.
Oh, man.
The knees now coming from Mixon.
Oh,
and he goes
he's hurt
back to
again.
the body. Pierce is trying to wear that as his right arm drops to protect the liver.
Oh, Pierce is showing some serious toughness here, but he's in trouble. Mixon trying to finish the job.
Body shot, and that'll do it. Chris Mixon with the body shots, the combinations, and a beautiful display of striking for a second round finish.
My goodness, only 23 years old. What a performance. He's got some serious skills. Boy, did he look sharp.
A hug between the teammates. Chris Mixon starts the night with an exciting display of skill. It'll be official when we come back on Fubo TV. Watch the PFL Challenger Series and over 100 channels of live sports and TV without cable on Fubo TV. Visit FuboTV.com/PFL. Let's take a look at our Redcon 1 fight stats. There's the Cageonomics. Great performance from both men, but Chris Mixon, with the volume, the jabs, is able to overwhelm the defense of Nathan Pierce, and that set up the body shots that ended this fight.
Yeah, just beautiful stuff from the technician, Chris Mixon, going to the body. That's the sign of a seasoned striker, despite only having 2 fights. This guy fights like a guy who's well beyond his years, throwing 4, 5, 6 strike combinations, mixing things up with the knees, the kicks. But it was all about the body. That's really was able to chop that tree down in Nathan Pierce. What a fight and what a clean performance from Chris Mixon. There's the finishing sequence there, up against the fence, going to the body multiple times, showing excellent killer instinct right there. Tyron Woodley likes what he sees. Jeremy Piven does as well.
Oh, that's it.
And we have Sean O'Connell in the cage. He's in there with the fighters.
All right, this one ends officially 129 in the second round. Your winner by TKO, Chris Mixon. All right, Chris Mixon, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
First of all, we're all impressed. Your professional record in mixed martial arts is 2-0. The skills you just put on display, much more experience than that. Did you know that the striking would be your advantage tonight?
I knew my range. He's a scrappy dude. He'll make any fighter ugly. You know, we train a lot together, you know, as you guys know, and you know, I knew going in that my strength in any fight is my boxing, my kicks. I got a good wrestling background. I keep it on the feet where I want it to be. But yeah, I go into every fight looking to scrap, and my advantage, my length, my boxing, as I said. So that's kind of where I figured it was going to go.
We found out just a little bit about your story. We know that you had to fight a teammate. That's hard to focus, but there's concerns about your family in Ukraine right now. How'd you stay focused for this fight?
I didn't sleep these past 2 nights. Real quick, if I could, you know, take this chance to say, my дедушка Юли, my uncle Seroj, моя сестра Катюша и мой братан здесь. Я тебя очень люблю. You know, ты знаешь, yeah, I love you all, and it's an honor I could represent my family like this. My dad is here somewhere. I ain't seen him yet.
All right, let's hear what our celebrity panel had to say. We'll send it over to Julie Stewart-Binks.
Well, Sean, ever since Chris had the second round knockout, I've been hearing Ray Lewis saying, wow, wow, wow. What stood out for you most, Ray?
Chris, I think what was most impressive for me is you understood your range. You understood how to stay out of his attack spots, right? And you always stay faded to one side. And I'm telling you, it was so impressive. I thought that he should have tried to attack you to get you to the ground, right, to take that boxing skill away from you. But I'm telling you, the way you danced, your combinations are absolutely amazing.
And Tyron, what did you think about Chris's performance, knowing this division so well?
You know, Chris, impressed is an understatement. He peppered the steak before he fried it. He did a great job, used his range, multiple jabs. His eyes was laser sharp. He saw all of his shots, and he followed through. Got the job done.
Jeremy, you wanted some entertainment. Were you entertained?
Entertained on many different levels. This kid is so humble. He has so much going on in the Ukraine, and he was able to focus. And his striking was so beautiful, and he was mixing it up with knees, and he was patient. So, and this kid is 23 years old. He has an incredible future.
Great stuff, guys. Sean, back to you.
Thank you, Julie Stewart-Binks, and congratulations. Our first winner tonight, welterweights in the Challenger Series, Chris Mixon. More welterweight action to come. There's Carlos Leal, the LFA welterweight champion. And he'll be taking on a 6'5" behemoth. Cuppy stepping in. Last minute notice, but he's ready to go on Fubo TV. Check out our very own Julie Stewart-Binks as she interviews today's top newsmakers in the world of sports on Drinks with Binks every week on Fubo Sports Network and wherever you get your podcasts. And make sure you go check out my episode. We're back here in Orlando for PFL Challenger Series action. The welterweights on deck tonight. Carlos Leal, an LFA champion out of Brazil. Corey Cuppy, he got the call last minute. He said, no problem. Our second fight of the evening, brought to you by CarParts.com. All right, for a preview of this fight and how we're betting it with those long odds, we go to Ian Parker.
Thanks, Sean. So right out the gate, we hit the first leg of the parlay with Mixon. Moving on to the next fight, Leal versus Cuppy. Look, we saw Cuppy on the Contender Series. He fell short, and then his last win came against someone who is 12-20. Not a lot of confidence there. I'm a big fan of Carlos Leal. I love what he's done with the LFA. He's on an 8-fight win streak, and 2 out of his last 5 wins have been by finish. Now, minus 600, way too much to lean on for a straight play, so he is going to be the second leg of our parlay, Sean, and we're going to keep this going tonight.
You in Parker's parlay is alive and well. Julie Stewart-Binks, bring him out.
Well, Sean, before these two square off in the cage, let's find out who they really are as people.
I'm fighting out of Macomb, Michigan. My record is 9-4 with 8 wins coming by submission. I'm Corey Cuppy, and I'm here to hit the move of the night and then win the $1 million tournament.
Well, Corey Cuppy said that he wants to fight Tyron Woodley. Tyron, what do you think about that?
Well, Killer Cuppy, you a tall drink of water, but I might be a tall order, brother. You might want to focus on tonight. And if you're not seeing the headshot of your opponent, the odds don't lie. A screw looks to be loose, so you want to focus on your opponent, but I take that as a compliment.
Well, as you mentioned, his opponent has 8 straight MMA wins. Let's check him out.
De Curitiba, Paraná, Brasil, com recorde de 14 vitórias, 3 derrotas, 5 nocautes, 2 finalizações, Carlos The Lion Leal. Eu vim para reinar.
And guys, Carlos Leal said that this is what I was born to do. I want to give my family a better life.
Carlos Leal, LFA champion at welterweight and a big favorite here tonight. And here's our Challenger Series tail of the tape brought to you by CarParts.com. You can see another big height disadvantage for Carlos Leal. 6'5" and 170 pounds. That's about as tall as you'll ever see a welterweight get in the sport of mixed martial arts. Cuppy only a 2-inch reach advantage on the arms and 3 on the legs. Andrew Glenn will oversee the action. 3 5-minute rounds a possibility here. 4 fights tonight, 1 contract awarded at the end of the night. Win the contract, become a millionaire.
You ready? You ready?
Leal in the ballet tudos. Corey Cuppy in the gray trunks. Southpaw stance for Cuppy and for Leal. Big right hand from Carlos Leal, and down goes Corey Cuppy. Up kick there from Cuppy, who now swirls around on his back. North-south on top for Leal, who goes to work with hammer fists on the body of Cuppy. Finds himself in big trouble very early, hanging on for dear life as the right hands come down.
This is what Leal is all about. Pressure, pressure, pressure. And he's got a ton of experience. He's been in battles, but right now he is all over Cuppy.
Knee to the body misses, and that's about the first thing that has missed. Cuppy's gonna have to move if he wants to stay alive in this fight.
These are brutal
Andrew
shots.
Glenn is ready to step in, and he waves it off early in the first round. Carlos Leal, less than a minute.
Yeah, he wasn't messing around, my goodness. They call him the Lion. It looked like he was playing with his food out there for a little bit. Made it look easy. What a mauling, my goodness.
Well, I guess we shouldn't be surprised that the bar is raised in the welterweight division. Mixon with a great performance, and Carlos Leal saw that and said, I'll do you one better. Less than a minute into this fight, he puts away Corey Cuppy.
Yeah, that's right, and it's not easy to do what Chris Mixon did out there, but he wasted no time getting to work. Hurt him early with a big shot. And the thing about Leal is, he might be an even better grappler than he is a striker.
É por ele com ele. Jesus Cristo, o único e suficiente Salvador desse mundo.
Ian Parker's 3-leg parlay, 2 of those legs already good.
Yep.
We just got started. We'll make this one official on Fubo TV next. Welcome back, fight fans. Don't forget to circle your calendars for the next 6 Friday nights. 8:30 Eastern, PFL Challenger Series is here each week with a life-changing contract to be awarded on Fubo TV. You see every PFL weight class, including the women's lightweights, fighters making their professional debuts, and a select few will get a second chance at the coveted PFL contract. PFL Challenger Series is the only place where you, the fan, help decide who gets a PFL contract. Our fight stats are presented by Redcon 1. A high percentage of Carlos Leal's punches landed the big right hand, and he pounds away until Corey Cuppy is out of there in less than a minute. Take a look at our damage meter presented by carparts.com. Damage visible on the face of Corey Cuppy, and the damage meter tells you some of those landed the hammer fists on the body. Oof. The head's glowing red because that was the punch that put him down.
Yeah, I mean, it happened early on. Leal took a kick on the forearm, then went to work upstairs. There's Ray Lewis. Looked like he wanted to stop the fight from his table there. But Leal, just relentless, really never let Corey Cuppy into this fight. Just shot after shot after shot. And that's exactly what you need to do. Killer instinct. High level of skill there, just dominant there from the Lion, Carlos Leal. There he is, knee on stomach, going to work to the body. Staying right on him, chipping away, then went upstairs with big shots. And from there, the referee forced to step in there. Just one too many shots there from Leal. What a performance. Dominant stuff from the Brazilian from Curitiba, which has produced so many great fighters over the years. Shoot to box, of course. There's Ian Parker. He's excited. 2 for 2 tonight and shocked. A clap from the champ, not too bad. Sean O'Connell is in the cage with the official result.
This fight officially waved off 56 seconds into round number 1. Your winner by TKO, Carlos Leal. All right, I'm here with the winner, Carlos Leal. That is 9 victories in a row. You're one of the hottest prospects in the welterweight division. Was the game plan always to come in here and finish this one quick?
9 vitórias consecutivas, você é grande prospecto agora na divisão até 77 quilos. Esse foi sempre o plano, chegar aqui e terminar a luta rápido assim?
Devido às regras do evento, né? Para ser campeão, o primeiro round vale mais. Então a gente veio para isso mesmo, mostrar por que eu sou o leão. Já vim aqui para dominar desde o primeiro segundo aqui dentro. E graças a Deus, a estratégia deu certo, tudo aquilo que eu treinei fluiu. E mais uma vitória veio, graças a ele.
Well, given the PFL rules that first round stoppage is worth a lot more, I came out here to show I'm business, to show that I'm the lion, show that I'm efficient, that I can get it done and get it done in the season too. So I came, just like the lion, I came here to rule.
So we know the welterweight division in the PFL is incredibly deep. Only one winner tonight will receive a contract. Do you think that a stoppage win in less than 1 minute will earn you a contract in the PFL?
A divisão de 77 quilos da PFL é lotada de talento. Dito isso, hoje à noite aqui só sai uma pessoa com contrato. Você vê você como o cara que fez o trabalho bem feito aqui hoje com essa vitória no primeiro round para sair daqui um contrato?
Sim, eu acredito que sim. Eu mostrei hoje para todos que estão aqui e para o mundo que eu posso ser o próximo campeão da categoria. E se me der esse contrato, pode ter certeza, eu sei que a caminhada é longa, mas eu vou ser o campeão da categoria.
Absolutely. I think I proved myself. I showcased my work here today, and rest assured, you give me the contract, I'll be the next champion at the PFL.
All right, let's see what our celebrity panel thought about this performance. Julie Stewart-Binks.
Well, Sean, if there's a camera on me, I would just be cringing the whole time. That was absolutely insane. I've never seen anything like that in my life. I know, though, that Tyron Woodley has seen that before. What did you think of Carlos Leal's performance tonight?
You know what I thought is, when I think about my boxing coach, he told me, and I say this very figuratively, he said, if you see your personal life support, pull the plug. That's the definition of killer instinct. But it wasn't that he was just throwing crazy shots. He was knee on belly, passing. There was submission attempts that was tried by his opponent. He easily got past the guard, went until he got the finish. So it shows me that he's drilling a lot. He's really dedicated to this. He already has 2 belts, so he has a lot of promise. He's a fighter I can see in the tournament right now. So it makes it very difficult. The first fight was an amazing fight. Then he comes with a first-round finish and just had a minute and some change. So you got to really take him seriously.
Some strong words from Tyron Woodley. Jeremy Piven, what did you think about Carlos Leal in the cage tonight?
Wow, the Brazilian lion was dominant. That was some serious power. A lion versus a giraffe. It was awkward. It was awkward. It was awkward to watch. And I'm scared. I'm many miles away, and I'm scared of this gentleman. I don't know how else to say it.
I think that his opponent was scared as well. What did you think, Ray?
Look, I think, Jeremy, you hit it on the head, right? You're talking about a lion and a giraffe. He's backing him up, right? And anytime you're backing him up, he can't use his length, right? So his legs could not become a factor. This guy, when I tell you Carlos, that's a lion's mentality. Straightforward is his mentality. That guy, and the way he loves Jesus, listen, I'm telling you, like, that's why his mentality is what it is. When a lion walks into that cage, he has one direction, and I'm telling you, Carlos is a bad man. Yeah, it's tough.
Well, you can see that mentality on display. As we saw him walk into the cage, he was already intimidating everyone here tonight. Sean, back to you.
Thank you, Julie. Victorious in his first PFL appearance, Carlos, the Lion, Leal. All right, Julie, back to you. I need to know 2 finishes in 2 fights, so who's in the lead right now with our celebrity panel?
It has been absolutely insane so far in this week 2 of our PFL Challenger Series. We hadn't seen this in week 1. It keeps getting amped up every single time. And Tyron, I mean, when we look at this so far, we've already had 2 incredible performances. If you had to rank, who would be in first place for you so far?
It's very difficult to rank because when I look right now, I look in the situation, 6'5" opponent. He was backing up. He's a karate fighter. I fought Wonder Boy twice. He was setting him up to try to get him to come in through the kick. He threw the kick. He might have landed it. Carlos may have a new nickname called North because all he was doing was walking forward, throwing punches, found his shot, landed it. The other fighter we saw, which was Chris literally was the most dynamic, the most sharp. He was like a sniper rifle out there, and he went in. That's 2 different contrasting styles. It's hard to pick right now, and we still have 2 more fights left. So, you know, right now I'm kind of sweating because we got to make a choice. Jeremy, Ray.
You guys are going to have a very difficult choice when all of our fights finish. Jeremy, for you, after the 2 fights that we just saw, who is in the lead in your mind?
It's really difficult because Mixon had possibly a higher level of difficulty with his challenger, and he got the job done. He wasn't quite as dominant as early. These guys, you know, it's very difficult. I think we may have to let more than one guy in. I'm going to break all the rules. I don't know what to do. These guys there's a lot of talent out there, man. Or maybe we have them fight each other in the parking lot. I don't know how this works.
Yeah, well, if you say it on live TV, then it means it happened. So we'll have to see what happens between those 2. But we know that there are still 2 more fights to come. But so far, Ray, in your mind, who has the edge?
You know what? I'm like the guys. I don't know who has the edge yet. I mean, you can't take credit from Carlos, right? He has a lion mentality. To go in and get rid of your opponent very early, that's not his fault. Right? That's what he does. And then when you talk about Chris, you're talking about a technician. You're talking about somebody that uses his length, use his skills, and just box this man to death. I tell you, it's going to be tough to pick who's the better man out of this one. Wow.
And we're only halfway through the fight so far tonight. So it's going to be a tough decision for the celebrity panel, but also fans at home, you have a chance to weigh in as to who is going to take home the PFL contract with the Bud Light fan vote. You can vote on Fubo TV in the fan view mode or go on Twitter to PFL MMA and cast your vote as to who you think should be in the PFL this season. Sean, so much incredible action. We've got so much more to come.
All right, thank you, Julie Stewart-Binks. Another champion will step in. That man right there, Delano Taylor, is a Titan FC champion on a 6-fight winning streak. A lot of promise in his career. He's up next against that man. The PFL on Fubo TV is brought to you by Next Level Hydrogen Water, the official water of the PFL. Columbia Care, the official CBD partner of the PFL. CarParts.com. Get the right parts right now at CarParts.com. And by the United States Air Force Reserve. Learn more at AFReserve.com. Welcome back, fight fans, to the PFL Challenger Series on Fubo TV. Sean O'Connell and Kenny Florian beside the cage. Delano Taylor and Mark Martin will be squaring off inside the cage in this welterweight bout brought to you by Columbia Care. Delano Taylor representing Jamaica. Mark Martin, United States. You know what? I haven't heard from Ian Parker, but I know that his parlay's looking pretty good. Ian, how you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good. I don't feel great for the celebrity panelists. I wouldn't want to say no to Carlos Leal face-to-face. That dude is scary, and that knockout was ridiculous, and he got us that second leg of the parlay. But moving on to the next fight, we're going to take a break from the parlay for just a moment. We're going to do our first straight bet of the night. We got Delano Taylor versus Mark Martin. Identical records. Knockouts, finishes, literally, it is exactly the same. The difference between the two, Delano Taylor is the champion of Titan FC. A lot of good competition comes out of there. I'm leaning towards the champ on this one, Sean. So at -150, I'm going to take Delano Taylor straight, and we're going to cash this one as our only straight bet of the night.
All right, thank you, Ian Parker. Listen to that man, okay? He knows what he's talking about. If you're a bettor or if you just want to get into the action for free, check out Fubo TV's Fan View mode. It's free to play. You answer live questions, score points, and you can walk away from tonight with $1,000. And by the way, the first live question on Fan View tonight was, will we see a first-round finish? Ian Parker said yes, and guess what? We saw 2 first-round finishes so far.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, these guys are going for it, man. This is why the welterweight division is so exciting.
Let's get back over to Julie Stewart-Binks.
Well, Sean, we've had so much action already tonight. We have 2 more fights to come, but the PFL Challenger Series gives fighters a chance to introduce themselves, so let's check out who we have next.
From Cleveland, Ohio, fighting out of the MMA lab with a record of 7-1 on a 6-fight win streak with 3 first-round finishes, Mark Showtime Martin. I'm here to put on a show and get to that millie.
That Mark Martin is a big fan of Ray Lewis because Martin was a linebacker when he was younger. Ray, what are your thoughts on him so far?
Inspiring. Anytime you have a young lion who looks up to you, and just listening to his mentality, you know, he watched a lot, and what I appreciate the most is that he has and took it to be his own. Yeah.
Well, he has a tough opponent tonight in the Postman.
Representing Jamaica, fighting out of Miami, Florida, with a record of 7-1, Delano the Postman Taylor. That's me, here to deliver that fade.
Well, Delano Taylor also has 2 degrees from FAU in criminology and sociology, so he's not only good in the cage, but he's also pretty cerebral. Jeremy Piven, how do you think that might help him in this fight?
Well, and he's going to deliver, right? He's the postman, he's going to deliver. So, you know what? He's another one of those guys where look at he's just all ripped up, and he's very, very kind and sweet. But those are the ones you have to be a little leery of, because he looks like his reach is incredible, and this is going to be a good one. This could be fight of the night. I'm just throwing it out there right now.
All right, the prediction from Jeremy Piven is that this will be the fight of the night. We've already had a couple of exciting ones here in the welterweight division on Challenger Series. Here's our tail of the tape brought to you by Columbia Care. Mark Martin is 3 years the elder. Delano Taylor 3 inches taller. A 6-inch reach advantage once again in the arms. 4-inch reach advantage on Delano Taylor's legs. Josh Rutgers will serve as referee for 3 5-minute rounds of welterweight professional mixed martial arts action. Touch of the gloves, Martin in the southpaw stance. And they get to work early, Kenny Florian.
Well, we talked about the stats and how well these guys match up. They're also from 2 of the best gyms in the country right now. Taylor from Sanford MMA here in Florida, and Martin from the MMA lab in Arizona.
I think I saw Drakkar Close over there in the corner of Martin as Delano Taylor slips, jumps right back to his feet.
Taylor doing a good job of level changing and stopping that entry into a takedown from Martin.
Oh, knee to the body on the exit there.
And that's what you got to watch for against guys that are so tall. 6'3", 170 pounds. Those knees are brutal, especially from that clinch position, and that will slow you down. It will tire you down. We saw the effect of body strikes in that first fight from Mixon.
As if to punctuate Kenny Florian's point, Taylor continues to go to the body. Martin responds with a knee of his own and a nice left uppercut.
I like the way that Taylor is moving right now, showing a lot of feints. Even when he's not doing something, even when he's not striking, he's doing something. He's feinting a lot, going low, then going high, mixing it up well, and level changing right with the level of Martin, stopping those takedown attempts. And that's where he could be vulnerable. You know, as the taller man, you have advantages, but you also have disadvantages when people are trying to get underneath you and looking for those takedowns. But so far, Taylor is reading those takedown attempts very well.
Taylor does a good job of circling himself to the left, preventing Martin from pushing him back against the barrier, and now Martin is able to get him closer. There's that left uppercut. It landed earlier. And a kick.
Martin with a great left kick upstairs. Taylor ran right into it. He's level changing, and now Martin's starting to switch things up.
It's a great
adjustment. Yeah, absolutely.
And now some aggression here from Mark Martin, who might think he smells blood in the water.
Yeah, Martin
left uppercut, excuse me, again, and a straight left.
Yeah, Sean, he's really starting to bring the pressure now, and Taylor is feeling it.
Another pair of left hands there, and a knee to follow from Martin.
Taylor staying composed, though.
Both of these men on 6-fight win streaks. You heard Ian Parker talking about the fact that their records are identical. 7-1, a knockout apiece, 2 subs apiece, 4 decision victories apiece. Very evenly matched, and we're seeing that here in the first round.
No question about it. Martin making some great adjustments here as he's able to get to the clinch. Just not able to get around to those legs of Taylor so far.
There's Chris Mixon, who won earlier tonight on our first bout of the evening. Watching intently. Inside of 2 minutes here in the first, Taylor goes right hand to the body. Tyron Woodley, we're seeing these men mix it up quite nicely. What are you seeing from Mark Martin?
What I'm seeing right now from Mark Martin, he's definitely pushing Pete, and that's called pressure. He's getting close enough to his opponent where he can't utilize those long reaches. You saw early on that his opponent was having success, but now Martin is pressing and pushing. Uppercut is going to land, I promise you. He's thrown it too many times and been so close, it will land flush, and it may be the shot to get his opponent down to the canvas.
Yeah, and Taylor's ducking down, which is why Martin keeps throwing that uppercut. He's got to be careful with the uppercut. He's got to be careful with the knee of the kick upstairs.
There's the left uppercut again. All right, this was the straight bet for Ian Parker. How you feeling about it as we're inside of 1 minute in round number 1?
Well, I like that right hand that Postman just delivered, but what he's doing, that he's kind of throwing me off a little bit. He keeps dipping that right. He's dipping down every time he's getting caught with the kick, the uppercut. I think Tyron Woodley's right here. That uppercut may happen. I hope it doesn't. If he can keep the distance, a nice combo right there. I'm still confident in Postman.
I'd like to see Taylor go back to that long-range weapon, that right kick upstairs. So there's the kick. Taylor has to adjust to that, Sean.
I tell you what, Mark Martin is showing incredible fight IQ. 2 right hands there from Martin.
That hurt Martin.
And that hurt him. Mark Martin blinking, and he opts for the takedown to get himself out of some trouble. Intelligence here from Mark Martin.
Yeah, no question. Great job by Martin to get Taylor to the mat late in this round, which was very close, and that could leave an impression in the judge's mind.
Round 1 comes to a close with Mark Martin on top of Delano Taylor. And some blood now on the face of Mark Martin.
I think it was that double right hand, that double cross from Taylor late in that round.
The left eye of Mark Martin showing some swelling as well. Those punches really changed the entire tone of the round late, although Mark Martin was able to score a takedown.
Well, I tell you what's going to change the fight potentially is that left eye, because he's going to have difficulty seeing out of it. There's that right hand, just landed clean. That's the one that swelled up that left eye, and it was 2 in a row, Sean. 3.
Then he goes for the third and the knee, and that is where Martin decides to go for the takedown. There's another look at it, Kenny Florian.
Yeah, just beautiful stuff there from Taylor. Went to those long-range weapons, did give up a takedown, and that was a very close round. I'm glad I'm not a judge or a celebrity panelist. Ooh, my goodness.
Kenny Florian, that eye is severely damaged. The referee calls the doctor in to look at it. This fight is over because of damage to the left eye of Mark Martin.
Yeah, that could be a broken orbital.
The globe is out of the socket. That is a severe eye injury for Mark Martin. Delano Taylor with the right hands brings this fight to a close.
Oh, my
That
goodness.
is a gruesome injury to the eye of Mark Martin, who was accounting incredibly well for himself in the first round of this fight.
He sure was. Really had to battle back. And he didn't want this fight stopped, right? That right hand just landed clean right there on the eye. And that's the thing about this sport. It only takes one shot either to land a knockout or to cause an injury. And unfortunate circumstances there for Mark Martin, who really was fighting such a great fight, as was Taylor. What a fight.
An incredible fight in our third bout of the evening, and an official call when we come back on Fubo TV. No chill. NBA legend Gilbert Arenas and his co-host, Twitter sensation Josiah Johnson, give an insider's perspective on everything happening in the world of basketball on Fubo Sports Network and wherever you get your podcasts. Fight stats presented by Redcon 1. Mark Martin outlanded Delano Taylor in both the punches and the kicks. But the right hands from Delano Taylor proved to be the difference. Also, that takedown misattributed to Delano Taylor. That was actually Mark Martin who stole the takedown late. Take a look at the carparts.com damage meter and the replays.
Yeah, this really was a back and forth fight, Sean. Taylor able to land early. Martin started finding his rhythm, started finding his range, started getting into the clinch. Did a great job of getting on the inside, but it was that right hand 2 times in a row landing right on the left eye, causing a doctor stoppage. And my goodness, things were heating up. And Jeremy Piven sees that. That was an ugly injury there. And you can see it there. Doctor doing an excellent job of coming in and letting the referee know that's enough. He can't fight with that injury. Safety first here. Ian Parker not liking that injury. But he does stay undefeated the night so far, Ian Parker. And Sean O'Connell is in the cage. with these two amazing fighters.
All right, thank you, Kenny. Our third bout of the evening finishes by TKO, 5 minutes, round number 1, via doctor stoppage. Your winner, Delano Taylor. All right, Delano Taylor. Nice back and forth fight. Mark Martin had a lot for you. He was landing, you were landing, but it was the two right hands at the very end that ended up putting him away. What'd you think of the first round?
I thought I didn't account for his length. I know he was kind of tall, kind of long like me, but I didn't account for it. Maybe a little hesitant on the jab. I should have jabbed him a little bit more, but that right hand, I knew it was going to land because on Southpaw's right hand, that's the money shot right there. So I had to just, in the back, I was literally just drilling the right hand. Probably drilled it like 50 times before I even came out here.
Well, it ended up landing, and I actually saw you go into the body with the right hand and then looping that one up over the top. Is that a combination you were drilling in practice?
Well, I was looping me up top because I know he's a wrestler, and I know he wanted to wrestle me. I'm a wrestler too, but I knew he wanted to wrestle me, so once I hit him to the body, he was either going to dip and throw a right hand, but the minute he dipped, I was able to throw the shot over the top.
All right, we all heard the story, right? You quit Starbucks. You were trying to balance both. You decided to focus on fighting. Does that feel like the right decision in this moment?
It always feels like the right decision. Every moment, yeah.
All right, let's see what the celebrity panelists thought about your performance. Julie Stewart-Binks.
Well, Sean, Delano Taylor beats Mark Martin. As we know, he had an eye injury. Martin was just taken off with the ambulance. But, Tyra, we were just talking about this. Have you ever seen this before?
I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose exactly what happened. I've seen an orbital fracture before. I don't know that's exactly what happened, but what I did see prior to that, this fight was a back-and-forth fight. It was a lot of adjustments made, and that tells me that this is high-level mixed martial arts. In the beginning, you saw Delano using a lot of hand play. I fought 8 southpaws in a row, and the best thing you can do is manipulate the front hand. He was doing that, landing a lot of straight punches. Then we saw Martin make that adjustment. He got closer, started pulling the head down, took it into the phone booth, dirty uppercuts, and then he landed the takedown. But when you watch mixed martial arts, both fighters, nobody gave up, nobody quit, and they both were going after it. So a lot of promise for him. You cannot take away his performance just because the stoppage happened. You got to give him kudos.
Jeremy, you said that this would be the fight of the night. How do you feel after the first round?
Well, I think it definitely would have been the fight of the night, and that was the most competitive we've seen. These guys were really going at it. When he ducked, when he went to the left and then threw, it almost looked like a little homage to a Mike Tyson angle. Am I right at all? Can we ask him?
Jeremy Piven just said that is an homage to a Mike Tyson angle. Dipping to the left and throwing the right hand over the top. Do you agree?
I mean, the proof is in the pudding, I guess.
Well said. What about you, Ray Lewis? What'd you think?
Buffalo Soldier. listen, hey, blessed time. Now, I tell you what, the thing that's impressed me the most with you, Taylor, is even though he reared back, you stayed composed. You kept your fight. You kept your posture right there, man. And so when you landed that shot, if you watch your posture and your base, that's the perfect shot you're looking for, right, in any fight. And you waited for it. Even though he was throwing some hard punches and making you actually adjust and back up a little bit, I think you put yourself in a position to land that punch, man. Great job. Great job tonight.
Well, the postman said he wanted to deliver a show, and he certainly did. Sean, back to you.
Thank you, Julie Stewart-Binks. So 3 welterweight fights down, 3 first-round finishes, because if you can't see the second round, that is a first-round finish for your victor, Delano Taylor. All right, only one more welterweight bout to go. Jarrah Al-Silawi. He's got a belt. No, he's got 2 belts in Brave Fighting Championships. The Jordanian fighter and Michael Lilly started fighting on a dream. We'll see if it comes true next. Watch the PFL Challenger Series plus over 100 channels of live sports and TV without cable on Fubo TV. Visit FuboTV.com/PFL. And pay attention, all you fans out there. At the end of the night, you will have a say in who earns a life-changing PFL contract. Participate in the Bud Light fan vote. Cast your vote in Fubo TV's fan view or on Twitter at PFL MMA. That's where you vote. And quite frankly, fans, I wish you luck in trying to decide how to cast your vote, because we've had 3 incredible welterweight fights, 3 first-round finishes. This is the proving ground. Right here, Challenger Series action in the PFL. Win a contract, become a millionaire. A very real possibility, especially given the performances that we've seen tonight. So, Kenny Florian, put yourself in the celebrity panel's shoes. Put yourself in the fan shoes and tell me who you, Kenny Florian, think deserves a contract.
Sure, easy answer, yeah. Listen, all these guys have done everything that you would ask for in a fighter. They have been aggressive. They have shown killer instinct. They have gone for it. They've been clean performances. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, all different fights, all difficult matchups. And, you know, we go back to the first fight here with Chris Mixon, you know, where he had to go against one of his training partners. He showed phenomenal boxing, put together some beautiful combinations, really was a technician out there, and only 23 years old and dealing with all the issues that he's dealt with family-wise, and to go out there and stay this focused. This is a kid who showed that he has way more experience than his 2 fights and way more experience than only his 23 years. Unbelievable.
The future is obviously very incredibly bright for that young man. And we saw the highlights there. Goodness gracious. Again, it's never fun to have to do that to one of your training partners, but both of those guys came in knowing the score. They knew what the deal was, and they both wanted this opportunity. They fought honorably in the pursuit of a single contract given out at the end of the night. If it were up to me, I feel like we need to change those rules because of these welterweights. And that was just, by the way, the first bout of the evening. That was a nice round and a half, 2 rounds from Mixon. You saw the adjustments. The next fight, Carlos Leal, the Lion LFA champion, aggressive Brazilian. Kenny Florian, he got it done, and he got it done quickly, starting with that right hand.
That's right. You know, the good thing is that he finished his opponent early. The bad thing is he finished his opponent early. We didn't see so many of his skills. He basically went out there and just mauled his opponent. So, you know, he didn't have to battle back from any type of adversity, but perhaps this is a sign of his level that he's at right now. And, you know, I've seen him compete over in Brazil. I've seen him compete here in the United States. This is a guy who is very focused, stays very composed, a true professional. And, man, he looked great tonight.
There's Ian Parker reacting to the first leg of his parlay, cashing there with Carlos Leal. And look, Carlos Leal in the post-fight interview, he says, "You make me the next welterweight in the PFL, I will be a champion." And he knows exactly what he's saying. He knows that Rory McDonald's a welterweight in this division. He knows that the 2-time champion Ray Cooper III is still lurking at 170 pounds. He knows that Magomed Karimov is hanging around. The welterweight division here in the PFL is an absolute nightmare for new-coming talent, unless you're as talented as these guys have proven to be tonight.
Well, here's the other thing. You know, you go out there and you see Chris Mixon's performance. You're like, geez, how am I going to top that? And he goes out there and does it, gets a first-round finish in that manner. That's extremely impressive, and he did it when the lights are bright.
Okay, you bring up a great point, because Mixon put the pressure on Leal, and then Leal put even more pressure on Delano Taylor to add to what was already on the plate for Delano, because he saw Mixon and Leal. So it's 2 first-round finishes, and the Titan FC champion, who's on a 6-fight winning streak against another guy on a 6-fight winning streak, faced a little bit of adversity, but he gets the job done. It was the right hand. It landed a few times early in the round, but then 3 times at the end of this one. Delano Taylor, the Jamaican, of course, fighting Mark Martin. There's the knee up the middle. You saw the hand play. Tyron Woodley was giving him credit for that. Mark Martin didn't win this bout, but he really accounted well for himself.
No question about it. Listen, everything we saw in this fight was high-level mixed martial arts. It was Taylor early establishing his range. Martin made great adjustments, and him getting into that clinch landed some shots from the inside, and then Taylor again late in the fight with those 2 right hands in a row that landed right on the eye, causing that injury. Just a crazy fight.
I tell you what, credit to our celebrity panel, okay? Because Tyron Woodley was given credit, pointing out all those techniques. Jeremy Piven, before that bout even began, said, I think this is going to be the best fight of the night. And even though it only lasted a round, we could say that it's in the running for best fight of the night.
Yeah, I think it was, because not only was it action-packed, but it showed both guys really showing their skills out there. It was back and forth.
All right, so 3 fights in the books. Well, what's next? Jarrah Al-Silawi, the Jordanian 2-division champ from Brave FC, taking on Michael Lilly. Our final bout of the PFL Challenger Series welterweight evening. Al-Silawi's a huge favorite here, so how are we betting it? Ian Parker, fill us in.
Well, we're going to keep this nice and simple. He is the last leg of our parlay at -900. Too much to bet straight, so we just need him to win. We hit our 3-fight parlay, and we get almost even money odds, and I will take it and run with it. Let's wrap up with a flawless victory on the night.
Well, if you're a bettor, or if you just want to get into the action for free, go check out Fubo TV's Fan View mode. Free to play, you answer live questions, you score points, and you could walk away from tonight with $1,000. One more fight to go. JSP, Julie Stewart-Binks.
Well, Sean, with 3 fights and 3 first-round finishes, our celebrity panel has been deliberating. They have their work cut out for them because we still have one more fight to go, the fight of the night. And we start with the big underdog.
Hailing out of Miami, Florida, with a record of 7-6, 2 KOs, 1 submission, Michael Lilly. I'm here to take over PFL and earn my contract.
Now, to succeed as an underdog, you got to have the right mentality. And Michael Lilly said to put on a show, he doesn't just want to earn a contract, he wants to take that contract. Well, it's going to be tough for him to take that contract from the top prospect out of the Middle East.
أنا المقاتل الأردني من عمان، ريكوردي 16-3، عندي 6 ناك أوت و5 سبمشن. اسمي جراح السيلاوي، الملقب بذا جوردانيان لايون. أنا بطل عالم مرتين في منظمة بريف. أنا اليوم هون حتى أثبت لكل العالم إنه إحنا المقاتلين من الشرق الأوسط نقدر ننافس ونلعب على أعلى المستويات.
Jarrah Al-Silawi, he said he's not just looking for a contract, but to put Jordan and the Middle East on the map for MMA. Sean, over to you.
Thank you. You can see the live odds. He's now a -900 favorite. Jarrah Al-Silawi comes in with a lot of pressure. Also, a little fact check, Kenny. I got overexcited. I keep saying 3 first-round finishes. No, it's 3 finishes, 2 in the first round. The first bout of the night went into the second round. Fact-checking myself as we take a look at next-level hydrogen, water, and the tail of the tape here. Michael Lilly, 3 years older. Jarrah Al-Silawi is 2 inches taller. Both weighed in at 176 pounds. Identical arm reach advantage. Slight advantage for Jarrah Al-Silawi on the legs. Our referee for this one is Andrew Glenn, overseeing the action.
Ready?
Final welterweight bout of the evening. Pressure on both fighters to perform to the level that we have seen all night. Al-Silawi in the trunks. Michael Lilly in the Gray Valley Tudos.
Al-Silawi, very well-rounded mixed martial artist, really very good everywhere. Tall, rangy for the division, knows how to use it, cool and composed, but don't sleep on Michael Lilly. Excellent wrestler, very good control when he gets on top.
Banking a couple low kicks so far is Michael Lilly. Measured approach from these 2 gentlemen at the start, and there's a 3rd kick.
Yeah, Michael Lilly does a good job of attacking that lead leg. He's trying to attack that calf kick, and he's good at setting up those takedowns off those kicks as well, so watch for that.
Kenny, how does it change your approach to a fight like this or your strategy, knowing what has happened in the 3 bouts before you when there's only 1 contract awarded at the end of tonight?
You know, I think it has to. Obviously, everyone who has won tonight has been extremely impressive, and that has to be on the back of the mind of Al Silawi. He is a very experienced fighter. He's actually the most experienced fighter that's fighting tonight. So I don't think he's going to fight outside of his style necessarily, but he's got to understand that he's got to be aggressive here against Lilly. And he's doing that. He's leading the dance. He's backing up Lilly. He's looking for his opening and trying to get his rhythm.
Tyron Woodley, Michael Lilly is banking those low calf kicks, and he's reaching for a takedown. What are you seeing from Lilly?
What I'm seeing from Lilly, I like the leg kicks. He do need to throw some punches before the leg kicks. So what he's going to happen is a counter right hand is going to hit him right center down in the face. He's throwing the open kick without punches first, and his distance is not as close. He may even hit his foot on the kneecap, which Kenny will tell you does not feel great.
Yeah.
Lilly able to get Al Silawi down temporarily, but the Jordanian Lion climbs back up and sends a body kick Lilly's way for his efforts. Another takedown there.
Al Silawi showing some really good takedown defense there, and if he does get taken down, he bounces right back to his feet. Great job, and that's going to be tiring for Lilly.
First round halfway gone. This is the 4th of 4 welterweight bouts here at PFL Challenger Series. 4 fights, 4 winners, 1 contract. Great combination, a right and a left. Stumbled Michael Lilly. Al Silawi, smelling a little blood in the water, is now starting to stalk forward.
No question about it. Brutal knee! Oh my goodness!
And Glenn waves it off. Jarrah Al Silawi with a knee for the finish.
What timing! My goodness. He was stalking him from the beginning and timed that knee beautifully. Wow.
Well, Tyron Woodley warned that something was coming down the middle if he didn't set up the takedown properly.
That's right.
Lilly was hurt. Al Silawi stalking forward, knew that the takedown attempt was coming, and uncorks a knee from hell.
Tyron's seen some things in his day and absolutely called that.
Good stop.
And here it is. He was backing him up, and he was waiting for that level change. Boom! Right down the middle. Just a nasty knee.
Yes, sir. That took him out. Yeah.
Andrew Glenn right on top of the action. Doesn't need to see any more of it. And Jarrah Al Silawi, our 4th finish of the night, 3rd in the first round. Official call next.
He listened for it. Yeah.
Kenny Florian, get your popcorn ready. Join Hall of Famer Terrell Owens and Matthew Hatchett as they discuss the world of football and culture with superstar guests on Get Your Popcorn Ready, Fubo Sports Network, and wherever you get your podcasts. Fight stats are presented by Redcon 1. Take a look at Jarrah Al-Silawi. One of those leg strikes just so happened to be a knee to the head of Michael Lilly, and that is the finish. The 2 takedowns, by the way, he got right back to his feet quickly.
Well, we saw the experience from Jarrah Al-Silawi, and we saw his skills on full display here tonight. Landing some beautiful combinations, using his length. He was backing up Lilly, and he got on to the timing of Lilly. Just as he level changed, he threw that knee right down the middle. Really timed it beautifully, landed clean right on the jaw. And here it is, coming up in full speed. Oh, jeez, and you can hear the sound. Just a brutal shot. Very experienced, very clean performance. Just a lovely step knee straight out of the Muay Thai game plan there, and just a beautiful performance. Ray Lewis, he was shocked by that knee. He loves flying knees. Look at him. Saying, did I just see what I just saw there? Wow. Unbelievable. Yeah, oh. Jeremy Piven, he's liking it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a nasty one. He felt that one, Jeremy, I think, all the way in L.A. Sean O'Connell has the official decision here.
This welterweight bout comes to a conclusion via TKO. 2 minutes, 54 seconds in round number 1. Your winner, Jarrah Al-Silawi. All right, I'm here with the winner, Jarrah Al-Silawi. You came into this fight with high expectations, and then you saw the 3 bouts before you. Did that put more pressure on you to perform coming out here in the final bout of the evening?
انت جيت هون كان في كثير ناس عم تطلع على اللعبه تبعك، بس اول 3 مباريات خلصوا على راوند 1. حسيت انه كان في ضغط عليك عشان لما تفوت على الكيج.
الحمد لله رب العالمين، يعني كان اداء ممتاز. كنت مجهز كثير منيح لهاي الفايت. بالعكس ما صار علي ضغط، يعني اول مره باجي انا هون كان كل شيء ممتاز، وحاولت انا كمان اخلص وضليت ضاغط الراوند الاولى.
Yeah, we trained very well. I was very well prepared. I didn't feel any pressure, to be honest. With the finishes, we felt like we were ready to finish the fight in any round. But I did put a little bit more pressure on the first round because of that.
Okay, and you got the big finish with the knee. He was able to grab a couple takedowns. You got right back to your feet. And Tyron Woodley said something's going to come up the middle, and it was that knee. Did you get the read from those takedown attempts?
انت عملت دخل عليك مرتين تيك داونز، انت دفعت منيح، وتايرون وودلي حكى انه ممكن يجي شيء من النص نيه. انت بعد التيك داونز انت حسيت انه ممكن تضربه نيه ولا شيء ثاني؟
اول مرتين نزل تيك داون فيهم، حس انه الموضوع سهل، زي ما نحكي اطمن للموضوع، فانا كنت مخطط له على هيك شيء ودرست كثير هذا الموضوع لحد ما امن للتيك داون. انا كنت مجهز له النيه من عمان.
Okay. So we were ready for the knees. We trained that a lot. We knew that if we faked, he would go down. He went down very well on the first 2 takedowns. He thought it was going to be easier to take me down again. I made a fake like we trained before, and I came with a knee in the middle.
All right, and last thing, you said you wanted to prove to the world that Jordanian fighters and Arab fighters have what it takes to compete at this level. Do you think this performance proved that?
انت بدك تفرجي للعالم انه كل اللعيبه الاردنيه عندهم المستوى عشان يلعبوا على المستوى العالمي وعلى مستوى PFL. انت رايك الرساله تبعك وصلت انه الاردنيين ممكن يفوزوا ويلعبوا مع اي حدا؟
طبعا الحمد لله، هاي هي رسالتي، انه انا ابين انه في مستوى في الشرق الاوسط وفي كثير ابطال. بدي ابين انه هدول الابطال موجودين بيقدروا يلعبوا على اعلى المستويات. بس رسالي كمان لسه ما كملتها الصراحه. هاي اول رساله، ان شاء الله في كثير اشياء لقدام، هاي بس البدايه.
Yeah, I wanted to show the world that we have very good fighters, many champions in the Arab world that have very good value and very good skills. But this is only my first message. I'm going to continue showing off and showcasing here in PFL, and I'm going to show the world that we can be number one.
All right, let's see what our celebrity panelists thought about this fourth finish of the night. JSB?
Sean Jarrah with a brutal knee to the chin. And Tyron, this is something that you were even saying before the fight might be what we would see from Jarrah. What did you really see that stood out from him in this fight?
You know, I just see basic fundamental striking. When you're throwing leg kicks and you're throwing kicks without any punches first, you put yourself in position to be countered, especially straight down the middle. If you're throwing a kick and someone just basically not even check it, just eat the kick and punch straight down the middle, he did that a couple of times and really set him up, and then he feinted as if he was going to punch again. That's what set up the flying knee. So he was using those feints early on. He was just a little bit more patient than we were used to in the first 3 fights, but he got the job done.
Jeremy, we've seen a lot of incredible finishes tonight. How does Jarrah's rank amongst them?
Well, it was just really interesting because he got taken down a few times and obviously was popping right up, learned from it, timed him, and then just closed the show. It was really impressive from the Jordanian Lion.
Well, we've had the Jordanian Lion, and we also had the Lion from Brazil as well. And Ray, we saw you throw your papers there when Jarrah had the brutal knee to the chin. How do you feel about what your decision is now?
This is the hardest thing you will ever do in life, seriously. Like, we saw all outstanding performances, and their nicknames is kind of my favorite, right? We got the Lion, we got the Jordanian Lion, and their mentalities, they match that. And I watched these counters. Tyrone Woodley, we was talking about it. Watching these counters on how these guys get in and out. I mean, this is going to be really hard tonight to pick because all of these guys are absolutely phenomenal.
The mental game was on display, and so was the physical game. Back to you, Sean.
Jarrah Al-Silawi victorious, our third first-round finish of the night. Congratulations to Jarrah. And we have 3 more winners tonight. 4 fights, 4 winners, but only 1 contract will narrow the 4 winners down to only 2 when we come back. And then you, the fans, and our celebrity panel will decide which of these incredible fighters gets a PFL contract on Fubo TV. Welcome back, PFL Challenger Series fight fans. Oh my goodness. Sean O'Connell and Kenny Florian, we told you that the welterweights would deliver, and boy did they. 4 finishes, 3 of those came in the first round. Incredible performances. Kenny, even some losing performances tonight were impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. And Silawi in that last fight, I mean, didn't make things easy for the judges, for the panelists, or for his opponent. What a performance.
So we got to take a look at the highlights because there were a lot of highlights tonight. We'll begin with, well, the beginning. Chris Mixon versus Nathan Pierce. 2 training partners. These guys know each other well, but Mixon's boxing skill shines through here, Kenny.
Yeah, 100%. Putting together 5, 6 strikes at a time, going upstairs, going to the body late. Just using that reach advantage extremely well. Just a beautiful performance. A true technician out there, and he's only 23 years old.
A lot of pressure on Chris Mixon coming in tonight. His late mother hails from Ukraine. He still has relatives there. I asked him in the post-fight interview, how did you focus? He said, well, I really couldn't focus preparing for this fight. I didn't sleep the last 2 nights. The performance was not any indication of lack of sleep, Kenny.
No, amazing. And again, only 23 years old. The lights were bright tonight. Had to face a training partner who had trained with many times before. He's friendly with him. Dealt with a lot coming in tonight and really delivered.
Okay, so that was the first bout of the night, and that sets the stage for what the expectations are going to be. A big finish like that, a great display of skill.
Yep.
Second bout of the night, it didn't go nearly as long. Carlos Leal, LFA champion. He had like 6 flights to get here from Brazil. 30 hours of travel in less than a minute inside the cage.
Well, it didn't really matter. And maybe he was just so angry at all those flights he had to take and all those connections. He took it out on Cuppy out there. Just unbelievable. Went right out there, landed some huge shots. Almost ate a big kick from Cuppy. It did not matter. Completely unfazed. Just landed a whole lot of ground and pound from every single angle. My goodness. Ian Parker, he likes what he sees, but he doesn't want to see the finish. I mean, that was violent.
By the way, Ian Parker, he doesn't like to brag for himself, so I'll do it for him. 4 for 4 on his picks tonight. The parlay cashed, and his straight bet on Delano Taylor cashed. It's almost like you know what you're doing, Ian Parker. Almost.
Yeah, you know, look, we had a nice little parlay tonight. It worked out well. It capped it off with the biggest favorite. Delano Taylor, look, I couldn't predict we were going to lose an eyeball tonight, but hey, any way we can cash a ticket, we're going to do it. Sean, I appreciate that. Thanks. Back to you, my man.
All right, thank you very much for always educating and entertaining and leading us in the right direction, even when the odds are confusing like they were tonight. All right, so that was the first of our Lions performances, right? By the way, I think Tyron Woodley said it looked like a lion versus a giraffe. The 6'5" Cuppy gets mauled by Carlos Leal. So now we've got 2 finishes on the night, which means that for Delano Taylor and for Jarrah Al-Silawi, the pressure is on. Well, Mark Martin accounted incredibly well for himself. It's all about winning. I get it. The sport of mixed martial arts is brutal and thankless, and sometimes you can put on a great performance and still go home not only with a loss but with an injury. Delano Taylor overcame some adversity and got the win.
He sure did. Tremendous matchmaking here. 2 of the top gyms in the country right now going at it. MMA Lab versus Sanford MMA here in Florida. Delano Taylor found his rhythm in range early, but then Chris Martin able to make some excellent adjustments there, able to get to the clinch. He was looking for that takedown. He was landing shots from the clinch position. And Taylor had to make some adjustments himself, but it was those 2 right hands that landed right on the money, right on that left eye of Martin, hurting him very badly. The doctor had to step in and ultimately had to stop the fight. Obviously made the right decision there.
Delano Taylor, all smiles, and understandably so. He's accounted well for himself, and that is our 3rd finish of the evening, if you're following along, which set up our biggest favorite of the night, Jarrah Al-Silawi, the Jordanian Lion. He came a long way to make this happen. He was the most experienced fighter on the card tonight, a 2-division champion over there in Brave FC, which is a prime breeding ground for great talent, but there is no proving ground like this one. And Jarrah Al-Silawi came in and impressed. He gets the finish. Kenny Florian, walk me through these highlights.
Well, he probably had the most pressure on his shoulders of the night. He had the biggest name, he had the most amount of experience, and he really had a tough stylistic matchup in the wrestler in Michael Lilly. It did not matter. Everything he was doing out there just seemed to be perfect. And everything Lilly tried, and he did some great attempts at throwing those leg kicks and looking for those takedowns. Silawi had an answer to. You see Ray Lewis right there, just shocked and in awe at that knee right down the middle, landing right on the chin there. Just tremendous stuff there from the Jordanian fighter. And Sean O'Connell is with all 4 winners right there in the PFL cage. Sean?
All right, thank you, Kenny Florian, inside the Challenger Series cage with 4 winners, all 4 of these gentlemen with a finish. But these are the rules in the Challenger Series. The league narrows 4 winners down to 2 finalists. Before we narrow it down, though, President of Fighter Operations, Ray Sefo, a word for these gentlemen?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you to all the fighters that fought. But everybody, all the 4 winners here, congratulations. You guys fought well. You showed what you're made of. You showed that you belong in the PFL. So good luck.
This is the reason we're here. This is what it's all about. 4 winners, 1 contract, 4 winners narrowed down by the league to 2 finalists. Our first finalist tonight, the Jordanian Lion, Jarrah Al-Silawi. Please step forward. Again, great performances from everyone, but our second finalist tonight, Chris Mixon. To you other gentlemen, thank you. I hope we see you inside this PFL cage again. You may exit the cage. All right, I do not envy the job of our celebrity panel. I do not envy the job of you, the fans. Remember, paying attention all night, and that means that you now have a say in who earns a life-changing PFL contract. Participate in the PFL Bud Light fan vote. Cast your vote on Fubo TV's FanView or on Twitter at PFL MMA. Do it now, because we are going to announce the winner of a PFL contract when we come back. Fans, this is a great responsibility for all of you, because both of these fighters, all 4 of our winners tonight, with incredible performances, but these 2 gentlemen are narrowed down as finalists. We'll hear from the celebrity panel, we'll hear from you, the fans, and hey, we might have to hear from the tie-breaking vote, Ray Sefo, on Fubo TV next. 2 finalists, 4 winners tonight. These 2 gentlemen are called forward as finalists. And I do not envy the task of choosing between them for a PFL contract, so I'm going to shirk that responsibility. Julie Stewart-Binks, over to you.
Well, Sean, with these 2 finalists and even the final 4 fighters, this celebrity panel has been deliberating, having such a hard time figuring out who should get this PFL contract because everyone had an incredible performance here tonight. But there's only one winner for this PFL contract, and for that, we're going to get our thoughts from the celebrity panel before they reveal their votes. So, Ray Lewis, tell us, what do you think of the final 2?
I think, honestly, this is probably the hardest thing you can ever do as a judge because of what both of these guys displayed. You talking about Jara, listen, just absolutely incredible. This is the 2nd week in a row that we see this flying kick, this flying knee, and the way he delivered it, how patient he was to get there. And then you talk about Chris, the way Chris patient, from a technician side, this kid is special. So this is a very hard thing.
A very hard decision. And Jeremy Piven, we want to bring you in here to get your thoughts on the final 2 here. What do you think about who stands out and really who deserves the contract?
I got to tell you, Julie, this is just too difficult, and I'm going to have to tap out. I'm way too intimidated by this entire process. Look, Mixon had the highest level of difficulty tonight. Between his opponent and what's going on in the Ukraine, and he somehow stayed focused and closed the show. And then you got the Jordanian Lion that figured this guy out in real time and delivered the flying knee. So I don't know what to say. I'm going to start stuttering and crying like a grandmother.
Well, that makes 2 of us. But we know someone who isn't, is former UFC welterweight champion Tyron Woodley, who knows this division and these fighters and this whole league so well. Tyron, what do you think tonight about these final 2?
First off, before we got to the final 2, it was already hard enough to try to pick one person or 2 people or 3 people. To be honest, everybody displayed amazing skills. But when I look at this fight, I look at the Jordanian, literally, he was so patient. He was setting this up from the beginning. He wasn't just laying back. He was feinting. He was reading his opponent. And as I said earlier, what I saw, not that I'm looking through his lenses, I saw that the kick was being thrown without punches. He saw the same thing. He capitalized. But if you look at Mixon, like he said, Jeremy told you, he had so much adversity. But he went in there, he got the job done, and he had to do it against somebody he sparred against.
All right, Tyron, will you reveal the celebrity panel's vote for who should win the PFL contract?
Silawi, you are getting a contract, my brother. It was a hard choice.
All right.
That's their vote. Let's remind everyone, that's the celebrity
vote. The celebrity vote is for Jara Al-Silawi. Now, the fan vote is another part of this, right? The fans have spoken, and the fans on Fubo TV's Fan View and on Twitter at PFL MMA have also agreed Jara Al-Silawi will receive a PFL contract, the Jordanian Lion. Little celebration brought to you by Next Level, the official water of the PFL. President of Fighter Operations, Ray Sefo, already put the hat and the T-shirt on. But, Ray, I think there's maybe one more thing we need to hear from Ray Sefo, special announcement from the boss.
Yeah, absolutely. Jara will be going into the 22 season. So congratulations and welcome to PFL.
This man could win $1 million by the end of the year. He'll be part of the welterweight season. But I'm glad Chris Mixon hasn't left the cage just yet, because we've got good news for him as well.
That's right. Chris, you've also earned a contract, a developmental contract. I was really impressed with what you did. Congratulations.
23 years old, still undefeated in mixed martial arts, 2 contracts. We're breaking our own rules here on Challenger Series. For Julie Stewart-Binks. Oh, don't forget about the Columbia Care move of the night, a $5,000 bonus from Columbia Care for the move of the night. There were a lot of great moves tonight, but this is it right here. The knee uncorked by Jarrah Al-Silawi. Not only the contract, the invitation to the 2022 welterweight season, but a $5,000 bonus from Columbia Care for Jarrah Al-Silawi. Thank you for watching. More action next Friday. PFL Challenger Series on Fubo TV.